오늘 발표자이신 패스모어 교수님께서는 여러 가지 갑작스러운 일 때문에 참석을 하시기가 어려워졌습니다. 그래서 본인이 영상으로 발표를 하시겠다고 그래서 영상 자료를 보내오셨습니다. 예. 그러면 지금부터 이 발표를 듣고 이 세 분 토론자께서 우선 한국의 정지선 박사님께서 직업능력개발원의 정지선 박사님께서 발표를 하시고요. 다음은 독일의 한독상공회의소에 계신 수잔 선생님께서 발표를 하시고요. 세 번째는 제가 잠깐 이름을 잊어먹었습니다. 이화여자대학교의 박윤희 교수님께서 발표를 하시겠습니다. 그럼 지금부터 패스모어 교수님이 보내주신 영상을 우리 함께 듣겠습니다. 시작해 주시기 바랍니다.
Hello, I'm David Passmore, and I'm speaking to you from State College, Pennsylvania, where it is a very rainy day. I appreciate having the opportunity to talk with you, and I thank the organizers of this conference for allowing me to meet with you from a distance and asynchronously. In this presentation, I want to talk about the paradigm shift in jobs that's occurring and the direction that vocational education should take in response. Today, I want to talk about some of the revolutionary changes that are occurring in economies all around the world, and talk about some of the fears that humans have about these changes, and then talk about how these changes are going to affect the numbers and kinds of jobs that will change. And also, how should vocational education respond to these labor market changes? First, I want to discuss some of the revolutionary changes that are occurring in economies all over the world. By now, just about everyone is familiar with the World Economic Forum book, The Fourth Industrial Revolution, written by Klaus Schwab. And this work outlines many of the changes that are making revolutionary changes faster than we've ever had before. This book is being used all over the world to help reshape policy. And I know in Korea that there is a major government effort to respond to the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Most of us are familiar with this characterization of industrial revolutions. The first industrial revolution involved mechanization, water power, steam power. The second involved mass production, the assembly line, electricity, the distribution of electricity. The third industrial revolution is one of computers and automation, robotics. We moved into the fourth industrial revolution around the turn of this century. This revolution is built on the digital revolution that occurred in the third industrial revolution. The fourth industrial revolution is characterized by a much more ubiquitous and mobile internet, by smaller and more powerful sensors, and by artificial intelligence in machine learning. This is a revolution of cyber physical systems. This fourth industrial revolution is diffusing much more quickly and more widely than the previous revolutions. Global networks and powerful computing have spread across the globe in less than a decade. This fourth industrial revolution is characterized by three factors. First, this revolution has breadth and depth. It's changing what we do, how we do things. It's also changing who we are everywhere and deeply. The second factor in this revolution involves system impact. This involves transformation of entire systems across and within companies, countries, industries, and society as a whole. But third, it has velocity. Contrary to other revolutions that we have experienced, this revolution is evolving at an exponential rather than a linear pace. This is the result of the multifaceted, deeply connected world in which we live, and in the fact that new technology creates newer and more capable technology. But the change is going to move fast, maybe even faster than the workforce can adapt. This is going to cause a lot of friction and dislocation in the workforce. This change is bringing about a lot of fear among humans. It's rapid and ubiquitous. The worry is that new technologies are going to work faster, cheaper, longer, they're going to be more reliable than the current workers, and therefore people are going to become redundant, just as their skills may become redundant and not relevant at all. For example, in Korea, 80% of South Koreans believe that the new technologies are going to cause job loss. Yet the Korean Development Institute estimated that there's a 70% chance of about 9% job loss. So there's a dislocation in attitudes here in relation to what people are estimating. I'm sure many of you have heard the old maxims that change is constant, you can't resist change. Well, I think it's true. You can't resist change. Resistance is kind of futile. You're eventually going to be assimilated into the changes that occur. I'm not saying that change shouldn't be evaluated, but it will occur. And I think that's what we're facing with this particular industrial revolution. We've experienced this quite a bit in the United States. We have a lot of occupations that no longer exist. For instance, we used to have telephone operators handle every phone call. Well, we got a lot of change in that. There are almost no telephone operators who exist at all now. There, previously, in about the 1860s, about 60% of the workforce in the United States was devoted to agriculture. About in 2016, we had less than 2% of our workforce involved in agriculture. This is all the result of technological change. An interesting thing is when we developed talking movies. Before that time, when the silent movies, we had, in every town, we had musicians who were employed by theaters. And when the talking movies came in, there was a lot of resistance. About 10 years, the musicians' union fought against talking movies and made big advertising campaigns saying that the so-called talking movies and the music on them would not be as artful and as good as their own. That changed too. Economics drove this for the theaters. Picking cotton in the United States, which is a major industrial crop, was done by hand. It was difficult work. It was not very productive. We developed machinery to do that. So over time, technological change changes the amount and the kind of employment that is available. So just how will the number and kinds of jobs change? This is a complex question, and it really has a complex answer. First, what could happen to jobs? Well, the first thing that comes to mind for a lot of people is that jobs are going to be lost. This is because they're assuming that the technology will substitute for human labor. The substitution of capital for labor, if you're familiar with labor economics terms, this is capital labor substitution, happens all the time. It happens because of the relative costs of technology and labor and the relative productivity of both. But remember, there are lots of ways that net jobs could be gained. For instance, new technologies might create entirely new jobs, jobs we haven't heard of. And of course, this happens all the time. The jobs that we had 10, 15 years ago don't exist anymore. We have brand new jobs we've never heard of. So also, jobs could be gained because technology makes a product cheaper. So maybe people buy more of the thing, and that means that there may be not only jobs retained because of this greater demand in the industry, but the suppliers to the industries that make these products also have a bump up because there's more demand for the product. And that could occur even if the jobs in an industry go down and the demand goes up. It doesn't change what the suppliers do. So there may be a net gain in jobs there. Also, jobs could be gained because there's a reinvestment of earnings in new products and innovations, and that could lead in itself to new jobs. So this whole mix is complex. We could have jobs lost, jobs gained, but we could also have jobs that are changed a lot. These may be current jobs like plumbing or electricity, things like that, where there's new skill that's required. Also, these jobs might change because they require the introduction of new technologies into the job. This means that what the worker does and what the worker does with technology creates a job change. So this is a complex picture. Okay, so change happens. We should expect this, right? We've had it over our entire human history, and it's always affected us. And, you know, it's really important. It's going to happen again. The difference here is that the velocity of the change that's occurring is going to be such that the adjustments that we make can't keep up with the change that's going on. The adjustments that human beings can make to the changes in jobs are not going to be instant. There's going to be friction in this whole process, and it's going to cause human disruption, just as we have seen over many periods. During the Depression in the United States, we had what was called technological unemployment, which was due to technological change that occurred. So we can't make instant adjustments, and there's going to be disruption. Okay, so that's, I think, a fact of life that we're going to deal with, and it's going to be more troublesome as we go on. How is vocational education going to adapt to this? We might be surprised what I have to say. Okay, so we know there's going to be a lot of change. There's going to be change in jobs. There will be change in products, change in services, changes in just about everything. And the other thing we know is it's all going to happen fast. Okay, so what does that mean for vocational education? Well, certainly the way people manage vocational education might change just along with these other changes. Things will occur. Also, a lot of this technology that's coming forward right now in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all of that, and in all other areas, is really going to change the way we deliver vocational education. So that's going to, because there will be changes in the technologies that we use in instructional design, there will be some efficiencies and changes that occur in vocational education. But what about vocational education, its core, its mission, and all of that? How will that change? I'm going to be kind of controversial here, and I'm going to say it shouldn't change very much at all. So I'm going to take what may seem to be kind of a conservative approach here. And I'm going to say maybe we shouldn't change that much at all. We should just begin to continue to fulfill our mission, which is preparation for work in a very holistic sense. Job skills. This is something vocational educators do really well. Literacy, numeracy. Sometimes we don't do such a good job with that. Integration with preparation to leverage productivity with technologies. This is something that is part and parcel of what people do in vocational education. It's going to become even more important now. Also, we need to more embrace, for instance, things like on-the-job training. A lot of vocational educators are very school-based and they don't really look into the market itself, but there's a lot of opportunity to do on-the-job training that could be very efficient and could also give access to the technologies that are emerging. Some of these technologies that workers are going to be using are going to be really expensive, maybe even capital intensive, and it's going to be difficult to duplicate these in schools. So it's going to be important to get opportunities for people to do on-the-job training. Now, in the United States, apprenticeship is not very well developed. Other parts of the world, it is. So I think it's going to continue to be important to do this. So the other thing that we need to do is obviously to develop partnerships along with this, because it's important to get training for the job that has a high fidelity with the job. And I think the way you do that in the world that's coming is to partner with employers who are embracing the future. So I'm not saying to change that much. I'm kind of looking at this and saying, just do your job. Fulfill your mission, which is job preparation. And now the other thing is that some people say, well, why don't we know what's going to go on in the future? Why don't we forecast that? And we'll try to figure out what the jobs are going to be, 5-10 years down the road. Well, I got to tell you, I've been involved with forecasting technologies for about 45 years. I used highly technical and analytical models for modeling whole economies to try to figure out where jobs are going to go. I think they're pretty good in the very short run, but they're not so good in the long run. Why? Because there's change. And the change that we're going to see now is going to be very fast. Unless we get new technologies that come out of these new, like an artificial intelligence and things to improve our forecasting, I don't think we're going to be able to forecast that far in the future. So I think that it's going to be that we need to focus on short-term opportunities. Find out what's in the market get people prepared to get into the market, get jobs. In lifelong learning, they're going to grow and change along with that, we hope, if they have some of these other adaptability skills. And again, those go back to things like literacy, numeracy, scientific understandings, so people are prepared to go ahead, and understandings of how they can leverage technology. So many of the responses that I'm listening to technological change that's likely to occur in the fourth industrial revolution are not really new. Maybe you were expecting that we would talk about how everything should change in vocational education because of that. Well, I think that I'm trying to stick to the principles that people have tried to follow or emulate. So some of these things we've been talking about have been going on a long time. So there's a tendency for us to continue to do what we do in vocational education again and again. A lot of effort is placed in trying to do curriculum development work and professional development in vocational education. The idea here is that the curriculum needs to change and the teacher needs to change. Well, that still is obviously true. Vocational education teachers are typically chosen because they're exemplary performers. They've had experience, they've done work, they know what it's like, okay? And they're supposed to bring that into the vocational education setting so that they can have strong fidelity again with what they do in the classroom and what happens on the job. But I would say that professional development effort, curriculum development effort, is going to be even more important in the future because of the rapid changes that are occurring. We have to continue to look outward for how we should behave and how we should respond in vocational education. And where possible, then, we should bring that content back. And the way to do that is to make sure, for instance, that there are things like substantial, realistic, work-guided curriculum development efforts, and also other kinds of staff development. Sometimes that staff development might mean taking the time to get vocational educators out on the job to see how things are going. Now, again, this is a big effort in a lot of places, and there's a lot of money spent on staff development, a lot on curriculum development, but because of the rapid changes that are going to occur, the closeness of vocational education to the market is going to be very important, and things are going to happen quickly. I think these are two areas. Curriculum development and staff development, they're going to be very important continuing responses. You know, it seems kind of funny that I'm giving a talk here about change and I'm really telling vocational education not to change too much. But I'm talking about its core. But one of the things that I think that we need to do is we need to be prepared for change. And we need to morph, and as the structure and the shell and the insides may need to change as insects evolve. We need to be able to morph and change ourselves over time. Now, maybe that's a crazy thing to say at this point. Maybe it sounds kind of as a conclusion from this discussion. But I'm going to say that vocational education, at least as it's practiced in the United States over the years, has not been very responsive to change. It's not been responsive in many ways to current and emerging technologies, but it's also not been very responsive to what I would call social and demographic changes. And so vocational education needs to respond to those in conjunction with these technology changes that we have. So I think that's a really important thing, is we need to change when we need to, when it's indicated by the market. And right now, we're looking ahead, we're seeing things like artificial intelligence having such a big effect. We're looking at machine learning. We're looking at the Internet of Things. There are biological changes. There are changes in medicine. There's changes in computing, changes in genomics, and all these other areas that are really important. And these sound really out on the edge. But another 5 years from now, who knows what might be coming out? Who knows? Maybe it's a different kind of computing. Maybe there is going to be some change in the way we use technology, the way we use energy, all sorts of things. I mean, if we look way out in the future, I think Ray Kurzweil is saying that we're going to eventually have some sort of a merging of humans with machines. And that, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but we need to be able to change when we have that. Now, as I say, because we enter vocational education typically as being experts in an area, and we have usually a really strong affinity and a liking for the things that we teach, sometimes those don't make any difference anymore, and you got to be able to change. So either you change or the world changes without you. You know, when you give a talk about how change is going to occur and about how technology is moving so rapidly in all the ways in our life, I think it's possible to dig into these things and come away with somewhat of a dystopian view of the future. Things are going to be bad, things are going to be difficult. We may not prevail. Well, I don't feel that way at all. And I think that people are in charge. And so I kind of go along with what the Greek philosopher Protagoras once said. The Greek philosopher Protagoras once said, "Man is the measure of things that are, that they are, of things that are not, that they are not." So human beings are in charge of this process. We're creating technological change. We're going to be in charge of it. It's up to us to make a future that's going to be good. It's up to vocational education to help mold that future too. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a great conference.
예, 멀리서 패스모어 교수님께서 저희들한테 지금까지 흔히 논의되는 4차 산업혁명까지 얘기를 한 게 아니라 거기에 직업교육이 어떻게 반응해야 될 것인가 조금 더 진전된 얘기를 했어요. 우리가 4차 산업혁명 얘기를 많이 하지만은 오늘도 얘기를 하지만 4차 산업혁명이 마침 우리에게 공포로 전해오는 특히 속도나 넓이와 깊이 시스템 차원의 변화라고 하는 것이 굉장히 급격하게 다가오는데 이걸 생각해 보면 기술이 우리의 일을 대체하기 때문에 우리는 뭐 직업교육은 필요 없는 거 아니야 이렇게 생각할 수 있는데 바로 그 지점에서 직업교육이 어떻게 반응해야 되는가 이것을 그 기본 방향에 대해서 세 가지로 잘 말씀을 해 주셨다고 생각이 듭니다. 여기 오신 분들 중에 이제 정기선 박사님과 독일의 수잔 선생님께서는 독일에서는 사실은 오랫동안 인더스트리 4.0이라고 하는 것에서 반응을 해왔고요. 저희 나라도 지금 직업교육 마스터 플랜을 교육부가 준비를 해왔습니다. 그래서 우선 이제 교육부에서 준비한 직업교육 마스터 플랜 안에 직업교육이 이러한 기술 변화에 대해서 어떻게 대응하는지를 조금 아마 정 박사님께서 설명해 주실 것입니다. 우선 정 박사님 환영해 주십시오. 박수로. 예.
안녕하세요. 저는 한국직업능력개발원 선임연구위원 정지선입니다. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jisun Jang, a senior research fellow working for Korea Research Institute for Vocational Education and Training. Actually, I am joined as a panelist, one of the panelists in this session. When we heard first that Professor David Passmore could not attend this forum, which was a few days ago, the day before yesterday. 그래서 저는 이제 오늘 그 데이비드 패스모어 교수님께서 4차 산업혁명에 대비해서 직업교육이 나아가야 할 방향에 대해서 압축적으로 아주 설명을 잘 해주셨다고 생각이 됩니다. 그래서 저는 그 발표 내용에 대해서 매우 공감을 하고 있고요. 그리고 거기에 대해서 제가 강조하고 싶은 포인트를 조금 더 말씀드리고자 합니다. 우선은 오늘 참석해 주신 청중들께서 매우 다양한 분야에서 와주셨기 때문에 우리가 오늘 일자리 변화에 따른 직업교육을 논의하는 자리에서 직업교육, 교육이라는 것을 어떻게 생각하고 계실지 아마 무척 다양하게 생각하고 계실 거라고 생각하고요. 우선은 직업교육의 개념 정의, 범위를 간략하게 짚고 넘어가는 것이 좋지 않을까 생각합니다. 그래서 직업교육이라 하면은 말 그대로 직업을 갖기 위해서 받는 교육, 취업을 하기 위해서, 노동시장에 진출하기 위해서, 혹은 이미 노동시장에 진출해서 직업을 가지고 있는 사람이 자기의 직업 능력을 업그레이드 시키기 위해서, 또 이직이나 전직을 위해서 필요한 역량을 갖기 위해서 갖는 교육 훈련을 모두 망라한다라고 말씀드릴 수 있겠고요. 그래서 예를 들어서 우리 한국의 경우를 보면 전통적인 직업교육이라 하면 우선 고등학교 단계에서부터 시작된다고 볼 수 있는데, 직업계 고등학교인 마이스터 고등학교나 특성화 고등학교, 그리고 고등교육 단계에서는 전문대학, 또 폴리텍 대학, 산업대학이 이제 티피컬하게 직업교육 기관이라고 볼 수 있겠죠. 그리고 이제 대상도 보통은 학령기 학생들을 주요 대상으로 직업교육에서 보아왔다면, 이제는 이러한 상당히 빠르게 변화하는 4차 산업혁명 시대에는 학교에 다니는 학령기 학생만이 아니라 성인, 신중년을 포함한 누구든지 직업교육을 받아야 하고 또 직업교육의 대상이 된다라고 볼 수 있겠습니다. 그래서 엄밀하게 본다면 그 일반 교육의 트랙에 들어있는 일반 4년제 대학조차도 졸업하고 나서는 취업을 목적으로 하고 있다는 점에서 그들도 직업교육을 실시하고 있다라고 보고, 그래서 직업교육은 상당히 폭넓은 개념이다. 그리고 교육체제라는 커다란 틀에서 보았을 때 이 직업교육은 작은 부분이라기보다는 상당히 큰 부분으로 자리 잡고 있고 그 영역이 점점 넓어져 가고 있다라고 볼 수 있겠습니다. 그리고 그러한 이제까지 교육 전반 틀에서 보았을 때 직업교육보다는 일반 교육이 좀 더 다미넌트한 그런 위치에 있었다면, 이제 이 4차 산업혁명 시대에서는 누구나 자기의 잡이 굉장히 빨리 변해야 되고, 또 이 산업 구조, 직업 구조가 엄청나게 빨리 변화하기 때문에 직업교육의 영역에서 벗어날 수 있는 사람이 아마 없을 거라고 생각하기 때문에 누구나 필요한 신중년, 성인을 모두 포함해서 이 평생에 걸친 직업교육이 필요하다라는 차원에서 저는 직업교육 앞에 평생을 붙이고 싶습니다. 평생 직업교육이 우리 모두에게 해당이 되는 부분이다라는 말씀 드리겠습니다. 그리고 이러한 직업교육은 일단은 노동시장의 변화, 그리고 산업구조, 직업구조의 변화에 따라서 반응을 해야 되는 그러한 특성이 있죠. 그래서 노동시장이 어떻게 변화하는지, 어떻게 달라지는지, 잡마켓이 어떻게 지금 달라져 가고 있는지에 매우 민감하게 반응을 해야 하는 것이 직업교육이 되겠습니다. 그런데 지금 제4차 산업혁명이라는 이러한 매우 커다란 변혁을 일으키는 이러한 물결이 우리에게 다가오고 있는데, 여기에 대해서 우리 직업교육이 어떻게 준비를 하고 있는가라는 의문을 던지지 않을 수 없는 상황입니다. 그래서 우리 한국 정부에서도 이러한 4차 산업혁명의 커다란 변화에 대응하기 위해서 직업교육 마스터 플랜을 만들어서 지난 7월에 발표를 했죠. 몇 달 전인데 우리 직업능력개발원에서 같이 연구해서 발표를 했는데요. 이러한 부분이 반드시 필요하고, 또 직업교육이 이제까지는 학교 교육으로만 학교 교육을 졸업하고 대학을 졸업하고 사회에 나가서 학교에서 배운 지식과 기술로 자기의 역량을 발휘했던 이런 시대에서, 이제는 4차 산업혁명이라는 매우 빠른 변화의 속도, 패스모어 교수님은 velocity라는 용어로 표현을 해주셨고요. 그러한 가속화되는 이러한 변화로 인해서 우리는 이제 앞으로 어떠한 사회가 될 것이다 라고 예측을 하기가 상당히 어려운, 그래서 불확실하다라는 이 불확실성만이 확실한 불확실성의 시대다라고 볼 수 있습니다. 그래서 이러한 불확실성에 대비하기 위한 직업교육은 무엇인가라는 고민을 해봐야 할 때입니다. 그래서 우리 그 직업교육 마스터 플랜에서는 연구를 하면서 우리의 직업교육이 나아가야 할 기본적인 종합적인 계획을 만들었는데, 그 중에 중요한 것이 또 이제 이러한 기초교육이 강화되어야 할 것이다. 이제까지는 직업교육하면 특정 직업을 갖기 위해서 받아야 하는 직업, 거기에 특정 직업의 전문성을 가져야 하는 직업 교육으로 이렇게 우리가 인식을 해왔는데, 그렇게 되다 보면 이 사회와 노동시장, 산업구조가 엄청나게 빨리 변화해가면 학교 졸업하고 나서는 내가 가고자 하는 잡은 이미 변화되었고 거기서 요구하는 역량은 이미 또 달라져 있습니다. 그래서 학교 교육으로는 이제는 되는 시대가 아니고, 학교 교육이 아닌 직업교육, 평생에 걸친 직업교육이 제대로 만들어져야 되고, 그래서 이 교육 체제가 학교 교육 중심으로 만들어져 있는 현재 교육 체제는 상당히 커다란 변혁을 가져와야 될 것이다. 평생에 걸친 직업교육을 중심으로 한 교육 체제로 변화되어야 할 것이다 라는 점을 강조하고 싶습니다. 그리고 또 우리 패스모어 교수님께서 이제까지 있던 직업이 없어지고 있다라는 말씀을 하면서 없어지는 직업으로 전화 교환수, 그리고 뭐 농업 종사자, 이런 케이스를 사례를 보여주셨습니다. 저도 타이피스트라는 직업도 생각납니다. 옛날에는 타이피스트들이 이렇게 막 타자를 쳐서 원고를 만들었는데 지금은 누구나 컴퓨터를 활용해서 하는 시대가 되었죠. 뭐 그렇듯이 없어지는 직업도 있지만 이제 새로 생겨나는 직업도 상당히 많은 거죠. 그러니까 노동시장의 양적인 변화, 직업이 없어지고 많은 일자리가 없어진다는 이러한 양적 변화뿐만 아니라 일 자체가 변화한다는 질적인 변화에도 우리는 예민하게 귀를 기울여 봐야 할 것입니다. 예를 들면 새로 우리가 상상을 하거나 상상하지 못했던 직업으로 인공장기 제조사라는 직업, 여러분도 한 번쯤은 들어보셨을 것 같습니다. 그러니까 이제 인간의 뭐 혈액도 젊고 건강한 혈액으로 쫙 바꿔버리고, 뭐 노화된 장기, 약화된 장기, 이런 거를 새로 만들어서, 인공장기를 만들어서 인간을 건강하고 젊게 살게 하는, 아마 노화가 진행이 안 되고 뭐 모든 사람이 영원히 살 수 있는 것이 축복일지는 모르겠지만, 아무튼 그러한 과학기술에 대한 논의도 지금 있지 않습니까? 그래서 그러한 인공장기 제조사라는 직업을 하나 생각해 본다면, 그러한 직업은 단순히 의학기술만으로 되는 직업이 아니겠죠. 의학기술에다가 이러한 만들어야 하는 공학기술도 있어야 할 것이고요. 또 뭐 생물학도 같이 합쳐져야 할 것이고, 또 그것을 이제 그런 수술을 하고 나서 그 사람을 또 이렇게 적응하게 하는 뭐 심리학, 뭐 이런 여러 가지 학문이 융합이 되어서 이런 인공장기 제조사라는 직업이 만들어질 것입니다. 그래서 융합 역량이 앞으로는 더욱더 중요해지고, 그래서 우리가 지금 많이 찾고 있는 것이 스팀 교육, 또 스템 교육, 이런 것을 많이 찾고 있습니다. 그래서 일단은 기본 역량을 강화해서 어떠한 변화가 와도 그 기본 역량을 가지고 쉽게 적응할 수 있는, 민첩하게 반응할 수 있는 이 애저일리티를 가질 수 있는 역량을 갖추도록 하는 것이 직업교육이 나아가야 할 방향이고, 거기에 더 같이 병행해서 이러한 융합 역량, 또 창의성, 그리고 또 그 문제 해결력이라든지 이러한 것들을 골고루 갖출 수 있도록 직업교육이 바뀌어야 할 것입니다. 그래서 이러한 교육 과정 자체가 좀 바뀌어야 하고요. 그리고 이러한 교육 과정을 제대로 전달할 수 있는 교수 학습 방법도 학생들이 좀 더 흥미를 가지고, 신세대들이 흥미를 가질 수 있는 디지털 기계를 좀 투입해서 그런 활용을 하고, 또 AI라든지 이런 걸 통해서 개인 맞춤형 학습이 가능하도록 하고, 이러한 교수 학습 방법이 많이 좀 활성화되어야 할 것이고요. 그리고 보다 더 중요한 것은 교사의 역량이 아닐까 싶습니다. 그래서 교사가 학교 교육 교사든 평생학습의 교사든 간에 이제까지 주입식이나 암기식 위주로 했던 이러한 교육보다는 그러한 창의성을 끌어내고 또 이런 문제 해결력을 가질 수 있도록 하는 학습 내용을 만들 뿐만 아니라 또 그러한 맞는 것을 제대로 전달할 수 있는 역량을 가져야 되고요. 또 그런 이렇게 교사가 앞에서 혼자 강의하는 이런 식의 교수법이 아니라 그 학생들을 안내하고 또 그 학생들하고 상담을 할 수 있는 이러한 그 여러 가지 새로운 역량을 좀 가진 교사들이 우리에게 절실하게 필요한 상황이라고 생각합니다. 그래서 이 4차 산업혁명 시간이 지금 조금 지나서 제가 간략히 마무리하고 끝내겠습니다. 그래서 저기 1분만 더 쓰면은요. 그래서 4차 산업혁명의 직업교육의 방향의 가장 중요한 부분은 기초 역량을 가져야 할 것이고 또 그것이 라이프롱 Vocational Education이 될 수 있는 체제를 만들어 가야 할 것이고요. 그리고 거기에 더해서 교사의 역량이 상당히 개조를 많이 해야 될 것이고 그러한 교사를 가질 수 있는 이러한 정책들 그런 것들이 많이 만들어져야 할 것인데 이 산업협력의 이 파트너십이 매우 중요하고요. 그런 차원에서 보았을 때 거기 플러스 정부 부처 간의 협력도 매우 중요한 부분이라고 생각합니다. 그래서 미국에서는 이미 연방정부 차원에서 교육부랑 노동부가 통합될 거라는 계획을 내놓았습니다. 그만큼 정부 간의 부처가 협력이 중요하고 우리나라도 이러한 정책이나 직업교육 정책은 특히 노동시장 또 직업교육 이런 것이 합쳐져야 하기 때문에 정부 부처 간의 협력이 중요하다는 말씀으로 제 토론 내용 마무리하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
네. 감사합니다. 네. 아까 패스모어 교수님이 얘기하신 공포가 4차 산업에 대한 공포가 좀 줄으셨습니까? 네. 다음 정희성 박사님이 하신 얘기는 4차 산업혁명 때 직업교육을 재정의하시고 그것이 교육체제의 개방성이나 교육과정, 교수학습 방법의 혁신들을 이루어야 되고 거기에 갖춰야 될 실제적으로 획득해야 될 역량들의 변화를 말씀하셨습니다. 다음은 한독상공회의소 DEinternational 총괄 매니저이신 수잔네 베얼레 선생님께서 토론하시겠습니다. 이분은 독일의 직업교육뿐만 아니라 한국의 직업학교들을 많이 관찰하셔서 양쪽을 비교해서 얘기를 하실 수도 있습니다. 예, 선생님 토론해 주시기 바랍니다.
Good morning, everybody. It was very interesting to hear what my predecessor was just elaborating on, and to be honest, that was more the theoretical basis. I can give you a very practical example how that goes together. First of all, I think it's very interesting times, and we really shouldn't be afraid. We should take it as a challenge, and I think with that challenging approach, you can master those friction way better. So what the Korean-German Chamber of Commerce and Mercedes-Benz, BMW, MAN Truck and Bus, and Daimler Trucks together, we implemented the German dual vocational system here in Korea. So we actually implemented it to 100% like we do it in Germany. So this means we're hiring high school students and they're getting a contract with the companies, either their dealerships or the companies themselves. And they have a dual approach. So they do 70% on the job training, which Professor Passmore was also very much focusing on, that is very necessary in order to know what you're talking about in your job. And on the other side, we call them trainees in the workshops, they're going to college and they're going to have a very profound academic education throughout their 3 years' time. So their education in total is 3 years, which appears for Korea a very, very long time, but it's a profound investment, you know. You have to see these guys have to pick up a lot of skills which they will need throughout their whole work life. Even if we're in a time where contents might change very fast, you have to lay a very profound basis to go on from there for your further career. So, and I think the system we implemented here has a very core issue. The needs are coming out of industry, you know. So there's only spots offered if industry really needs the workforce, which makes it very sustainable. So our trainees we're hiring, they're getting a job almost to 100% when they're finishing their Ausbildung with success. So I think that's the core issue. What do you want? You want that your young people are getting into their business life. They want to be independent very early. So you have to find a way to do that. And with our Ausbildung system we were implementing now for 2 years, and it's working very good, you create sustainable jobs, and that is the core issue. So, and another core issue is that we have already a different approach of teaching. We call it the full circle of learning, where that is an approach where our trainees have to actually go into problem solving by themselves, you know. We guide them how to solve a problem, you know, how to gather information, how to make a plan, then decide on it, finally execute it, and also kind of in the end there is a reflection. Was it a good way? Can there be a better way to solve the problem? And we're very much, another core issue what we have is we have qualified trainers in our workshops. The trainers, they get 100% training on not so much technical skills what they need, because they're good in what they're doing already. They get training in leadership, mentoring, you know, they get tools how to teach young people, how to deal with them in the workshop. They learn about conflict management, you know. And trainer and trainee, they're working kind of a team. I mean, you have to see the young people working or entering for the first time into a workshop or in business life at all. They need somebody who guides them. It's a total new environment for them. You have to give them the opportunity to develop in a secure environment, you know, so they really can, like a blossom, you know, they can develop, you know, over the time. And so that is also a very core issue. So the trainer-trainee relationship is a very new one. We don't have that in Korea so far. And I think this is also essential. We're working together on the one side with high schools all over the country. And I was traveling in the last 2 years over 100 high schools. And to see those young people sitting there with so much potential and talent, you just have to find a good way how to support and how to exploit that. And as you see, there is a very fast aging society in Korea. You will need these young people, and you have to find a way how to really make them fit for the future. And after 2 years experience, we kicked off a paradigm shift which also goes now back in the high schools, because high school teachers are already asking us now, what can we change in our curriculum, in our schools, in order that more of our students are hired in your program, you know. So that already started after 2 years. You see that also high school teachers are eager to change something. They see the need, and they see that it can be very successful for their students. On the other side, in the German system, you have dual vocational schools, which you don't have here in Korea. So we had to find a way how to set it up, and we came up with the idea we do that with colleges. And we found 2 colleges who were open for the idea of creating totally new courses. So our trainees, when they go to college, they find an environment which is not you or how you would expect it normally. So what they do a lot of group work, they do project work, they do presentation, they have to do presentations. So it's a very different approach how they also get to know what they have to know in the colleges. And we have a very close connection between the workshop and the colleges, you know, professors and teachers from high school, and also our trainers, they're all kind of connected, and they talk about our young guys, you know, to see how they develop, where they have strengths, where they have weaknesses, where they have to get support, you know, and that makes it very, very valuable. But there's one obstacle. In the whole thing, there's one obstacle, 1 or 2. The first one is that the recognition in society of such a education system or such a way of education is not very high. So if you as a parent send your kid to our program and you tell your friends and neighbors, and you know, nobody will kind of be like, wow, that is a cool thing, you know, because he's not going to university. But this is actually where we have to get to, you know. You need people who are able to work and also have the academic side combined, but it also has to be a very appreciated way of a career. So I think in there the government comes in, you know. I'm not a fan of putting a lot of money from the government in new systems. That is not the point. So that's what Professor Passmore also said, that the needs of the industry have to be the initiative, the origin of the system. The government has to set the framework, you know. They have to promote these ways of education. They have to make it kind of desirable to go there, you know, promotion campaigns, stuff like that. Not the money issue, not the support, because you never get rid of that and you're spending a lot of taxes for that, which is, in my eyes, not necessary if you respond to the needs of the industry. I think this is also a core point. The other obstacle is that industry at the moment here in Korea doesn't evaluate workforce very high. You know, they need workforce, but they're not kind of appreciating them. But if you have to invest in workforce, and that is what you have to do to make them fit for the future, you should also evaluate them. And even if a program takes longer than, you know, a year or 2 years, you should really go for that. And I think that is also something, that mind change has to happen in Korea, also on industry side. But this is at the moment still an obstacle to go into a very profound dual vocational training for a lot of people, you know. So I hope that we, with our program, which is existing now, and it's really live here in Korea, that we can make a difference to that, you know. And the curriculum of our dual vocational training is very flexible. So we have, here in Korea, we have the NCS, so the National Competency Standards, which are very outlined line by line. The curriculum in our program is a more general one. And I let you know why I think this is a very good approach, because you can respond on changes much easier. You know, you can integrate content in a general way. For example, like the car mechatronics, electrical cars are coming up. So if that is not included in the curriculum so far, you can just integrate it and say, okay, now we have to add electrical cars. You know, you have to maintain them, you have to, there are several things, but you describe it more. It's not like an outline thing. And that's why our system is very agile and can be, or makes it very easy to adapt the very fast developments out of digitalization and what we call the fourth industrial revolution. So that is also something what should be done then in a combination between industry, government, and education side. So in the end, what is very necessary, that these three parties, like industry, education side, and government, are sitting together, and there has to be, everybody has to play its role. As I said, government setting the framework, industry expressing the needs, and the education side responding with the curriculums and also how teachers are actually educated, you know. And that goes together, and then you have a perfect system. But I think in Korea, we're right in the beginning of that situation, and Korea is in a stage where this change has to happen, and it has to happen, I think, quite fast, which is not impossible, you know. As I said, if I see the potentials and the basis I find here in Korea, this is fantastic. If I look at our trainees in the workshops, I'm always so thrilled because these are great guys. They're open-minded, curious, they love what they do, and that is a core issue. So with the assets you have in that country, you can do the change. And we started now at the KGCCI with those companies I just mentioned. I always compare it with it's a little seed which is coming out of the soil. It's very small, but I see it really that it can grow into a very solid tree. And I hope to be part of it because I really think future matters in that country. And I think if the government turns on the right side, then everything is ready to do that. So thank you very much.
예, 교수님 감사합니다. 예, 아우스빌딩 시스템의 전문가이신 선생님께서 우선은 그 러닝 어프로치가 좀 변화해야 된다. 그다음에 트레이너와 이렇게 훈련시키는 사람과 훈련을 받는 사람의 관계, 훈련시키는 사람이 필요한 것이 리더십이나 이런 것이다. 그 다음에 그 두얼 시스템이 사실은 독일이나 이런 나라들이 기술이 굉장히 발전하면서 두얼 시스템이 아마 독일 직업교육처럼 교육체제가 아웃데이트 될 거다라고 봤는데, 여기서 얘기했듯이 대학으로 점점 심화 발전되고 있다는 것이 굉장히 중요하고, 그것이 독일의 여전한 경쟁력을 갖고 있다는 점을 아주 지적을 하셨습니다. 동시에 국가가 해야 될 일은 프레임워크를 제공해야 된다라고 말씀하셨고, 저희에게 아픈 두 가지를 지적하셨는데요. 한국 고등학교를 돌아보니까 잠재력이나 재능이 굉장히 뛰어난데 그것을 잘 디벨로프 못하고 있는 것 같다. 이건 굉장히 아픈 지적이고요. 동시에 기업들이 소위 말해서 일하는 사람들에 대한 가치를 깊이 두지 않는 것 같다. 굉장히 아픈 지적이었습니다. 예. 그러면은 다음으로 이화여대 박윤희 교수님께서 박 교수님께서는 인적 자원을 전공하셨는데 토론을 이쪽에서 발표를 하시면서 하시겠습니다. 환영해 주십시오. 예.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet all of you. In general, I agreed on Dr. Passmore's presentation that the jobs will be changed. So I will briefly talk about the perspective towards the fourth industrial revolution, and I will discuss several issues we need to think about in vocational education. As you know, the fourth industrial revolution is characterized by 3D printing, AI, IoT, digitalization, and this revolution will heavily impact on the nature of work, business, and society. But we have concern. Will this revolution take over our jobs currently performed by humans? This is big fever for us. There is no consensus in the literature about how much the fourth industrial revolution will affect the workforce and the job demands. Generally, there are two perspectives for this revolution. First perspective is quite pessimistic. So jobs will be reduced and we will face mass unemployment and the work will be disappeared. The other view is quite optimistic. So AI and automation will take over dangerous and routine work, and thereby the people can focus on learning, creating, and valuing work tasks in a more safe environment. Also, companies can concentrate on core competencies. In addition, new jobs will be created. I believe so. And revolution will affect some tasks or some activities rather than eliminating whole jobs or entire occupation. There will be structural changes in the world of work. So we will face a new job structure in terms of an increase of people working in non-standard jobs. For example, a gig economy involves crowd working and work on demand via apps. Have you ever heard Uber? When I went to States, I used Uber using apps. So it was very much useful to move around in the States. It was really fantastic for me. And there will be increasing number of people who work for multiple organizations or work independent, such as freelancer or independent contractors. We don't know exactly about how the fourth industrial revolution will affect our workforce and job market. Nobody knows. However, we need to prepare for that. So in this sense, we need to consider several issues in vocational education. These are several issues in vocational education we need to think about. Required competencies, teaching and learning, learning ways, curriculum and evaluation, instructor's role, and career development. I will talk about each by one. First, required competencies. World Economic Forum defined these 10 required competencies in 2020. As you see, the top-ranked 3 required competencies include complex problem solving, critical thinking, and creativity. So complex problem solving is seen as the most important skill because future workers need to deal with more sophisticated and complex problems. An interesting point among these required competencies is number 6, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence was newly included in 2020 compared to the research conducted in 2015. Emotional intelligence is the capability of individuals to recognize their own emotions and others' emotions. It is pretty much makes sense that emotional intelligence such as empathy and recognition cannot be replaced by automation or digitalization. So these required competencies need to be reflected in the vocational education. Next, we need to think about teaching and learning. I believe most of you familiar with YouTube. So we need to think about how to link with online content for teaching and learning. And the problems will be more complex. So individual cannot handle the complex problems, which means that people to work together through teamwork and collaboration, through problem-based learning and project-based learning. Also, in terms of learning ways to survive in the waves of revolution, we need to constantly learn the new things, new skills, and new knowledge. So learn how to learn is important. And as Dr. Jang said, lifelong learning will be more and more expanded. When it comes to curriculum and evaluation, to achieve and to perform project-based or problem-based learning, competence-based curriculum need to be implemented through integrations of subjects. And customized learning contents will be available using AI and big data. So AI and big data will allow individuals to self-assess individuals' competence, and it will suggest needed programs or learning content to students or to learners. Along with the curriculum, evaluation system should be also changed. So we need to evaluate individuals' competencies and characteristics. Next, that is instructor's role. Instructor's role need to be changed to facilitator, mentor, coach, motivator, or counselors, rather than just delivering the knowledge or skills. And instructors should support organizations of individualized or customized learning contents. Finally, we need to think about career development for learners and for students. As I mentioned earlier, job structures will be changed, and currently nobody guarantees lifelong employment. Career landscape has been changed. So for students and for learners, we need to develop orientation toward protean career and boundaryless career. Protean career means people can choose their career based on their own values and their own career orientations rather than driven by organization. And because of technological advancement, we can work anywhere. So work will be boundaryless, and job mobility will be increased. In addition, we need to emphasize learners' employability. And career development could be individualized through customized program using AI and big data. This is the end of my discussion, and thank you for your attention.
예, 박교원 죄송합니다. 예, 께서는 4차 산업혁명의 흔히 얘기되는 비관적 또는 낙관적 견해들을 소개하시면서 필요한 역량, 교수학습, 교육과정 및 평가, 그 다음에 교사의 역할이나 커리어 디벨로퍼먼트를 전반적인 얘기를 했습니다. 사실은 우리가 이제 어떤 면에서는 많이 듣던 얘기고 어떤 면에서 새로운 것을 추가해서 설명을 해 주셨습니다. 이제 세 분의 그 토론이 끝났습니다. 끝났는데 이제 여러분들이 사실 이 자리 플로어에서 직접 질문을 하시거나 또는 지금까지 질문을 보내신 분들이 있습니다. 매우 흥미로운 질문들이 꽤 많은데요. 예. 제가 일단 한두 가지만 소개를 시켜드릴게요. 특히 베일레 선생님께 질문이 많습니다. 예. 이게 두얼 시스템에서 사회적 합의가 매우 중요한데 한국에서 기업, 학교, 정부의 사회적 합의를 위한 조언을 좀 달라 이런 얘기입니다.
First of all, I think this is going to be a long-term process. So this is nothing what can be achieved from overnight. You know, this is something society has to work on, and there has to be some kick-off initiatives out of the government, or universities can also be included in that process. You know, kind of to state how positive such a way of career is, how important these people are to the country when they go into this career path. And I think what should be done, or what should be reached, is a balancing out between the academic education and the so-called non-academic or semi-academic education. And if you can handle this, then I think the appreciation for both sides will be there. But there must be a lot of focus now on like dual studies or dual vocational training, and yeah, I think that is one part of the government where the government can really make a difference, you know, fostering that and thriving that, and really kind of put programs in place where these people are encouraged to go into this direction. For example, also the wage side, you know, this is something where you can also do it, you know, or you put people in leadership positions who did such a dual vocational education. We have in Germany, we have a lot of examples of these people. For example, Mr. Zetsche from Mercedes-Benz, he did in the beginning a dual vocational education. And we have here in Korea, we also have some examples of executives in German companies who started their career actually with a dual vocational training. And I think that has to come really from the bottom.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. And also another one, you emphasizing, okay, 아까 교육과정의 유연성에 대해서 강조하셨습니다. 사회적 합의를 통해서 교육과정을 짤 텐데 그것을 합의된 것을 안 따라도 된다는 얘기인지 묻고 있습니다. 예.
Okay, first of all, the curriculum has to be done from industry for industry. Because what we would like to do, or what is the system doing, it's fulfilling the needs of the industry. Because again, otherwise you're not creating sustainable jobs. That's the first thing. So, and then in that process, education side has to be included as well, because they have to prepare high school students, or even lower than that, you know, they have to prepare those students to be ready for that program in the end. So that's why the educational side has to be at the same table, and the government has to be there as well, because again we're at the framework side, because they have to kind of provide the schools for that, you know, the schools like dual vocational schools or something. So I think that all has to go together, and the curriculum is something where industries puts everything in what they need, you know. Otherwise that doesn't work. It's too far away from reality, it's too far away what is needed. If you put a curriculum together just by authorities, it will never work. It has to be one where the industry needs are included.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So, 더 여기 질문이 있습니다만 혹시 플로에서 직접 질문하실 분 있으십니까? 저희가 여기 오면서 사실은 직업교육에 관심 있는 사람이 얼마나 있을까, 한국에서. 이 생각을 하고 이 자리에 왔습니다. 이 자리에 가득 차서 굉장히 놀라웠습니다. 그래서 통역기를 갖지 못한 사람도 있다고 지금 불만이 올라오고 있습니다. 근데 질문 있으십니까? 네, 없으면 제가 여기 있는 질문을 계속 하겠습니다. 그 다음 질문 중에 하나는 좀 도전적인 질문입니다. 이렇게 되면 이제 휴먼 리소스나 그 직업교육이나 이런 거를 강조하다 보면은 노동부와 교육부가 통합돼야 될 판이다. 이렇게 되는 거 아니야. 그랬을 때 교육 목적을 산업 일꾼 배출이라고 하는 것에 제한하는 거 아니야. 교육이라고 하는 것이 훨씬 그거보다 다른 게 있는데 하는 이런 우려를 좀 표현하셨습니다. 혹시 답변하실 분?
제가 아까 미국의 사례를 말씀을 드렸습니다. 근데 이제 물론 교육은 우리나라 헌법에도 있듯이 모든 사람이 뭐 홍익인간의 이념을 받아서 이런 뭐 저런 이야기가 있죠. 그래서 그런 교육의 기본적인 목적이 있습니다. 그런데 교육 중에서도 직업교육은 이 산업 인력을 배출하는 산업교육이라고 볼 수 있지 않습니까? 그래서 그런 차원에서 보았을 때 직업교육은 이 제대로 된 산업 인력을 배출하기 위해서 그리고 변화해가는 4차 산업혁명에 제대로 부응하기 위해서는 이 직업교육 인력을 만들어낼 때 보다 포괄적인 논의가 필요하다고 봅니다. 그러니까 노동시장하고 교육시장이 같이 연결되어서 논의가 필요하고요. 그래서 이제 교육 자체의 기초교육은 물론 해야죠. 그것이 이제 우리가 보통 이야기하는 스템 교육을 통해서 뭐 영어, 수학, 국어, 과학 뭐 이러한 기초교육은 물론 해야 되겠지만 그것 플러스 그거는 이제 초등 단계, 뭐 중등 단계에서도 이어지겠지만 그것 플러스 직업교육에서는 이 보다 그 직무 역량을 길러낸다는 것은 그 산업의 발전에 맞출 수 있는 이러한 역량을 길러낸다는 것은 보다 좀 여러 가지 차원에서 고려를 해봐야 되는 것입니다. 우리 교육이라는 것이 교육 정책이라는 것이 교육 자체의 논의만으로 해결되는 것이 아니지 않습니까? 그래서 교육이 만들어진 거는 우리 사회의 문화 또 경제 정치 여러 가지 요인이 결합되어서 교육이 만들어져 왔고 교육 제도가 그리고 교육 정책이 만들어지고 있습니다. 그런 차원에서 보았을 때 교육 특히 직업교육은 더욱더 경제 발전이라든지 노동시장 변화, 산업의 변화, 문화의 영향 이런 여러 가지 요인들이 복합적으로 작용할 수밖에 없는 것이고 그렇기 때문에 지금은 교육부에서 하고 있습니다만 교육부에서 마스터 플랜 발표한 내용에도 이거는 통합적으로 정부 부처가 통합적으로 같이 논의해서 앞으로 세부적인 로드맵은 만들어 나가겠다라고 이야기를 했습니다. 그런 차원에서 보았을 때 이러한 직업교육은 더구나 여러 부처의 협의를 거쳐서 만들어지는 것이 타당하다고 생각이 듭니다. 감사합니다.
예. 정 박사님은 여러 부처가 통합적으로 직업교육에 접근해야 되고 직업교육은 어쩔 수 없이 산업계의 일종의 역할을 해야 된다라고 하셨는데 베일리 선생님 이 부분에 대한 견해 없으십니까? 네. 독일의 직업교육에 말씀하시겠어요? 예, 오케이.
So I think education has to be kind of governed in a way. So I think what we did in Germany, or what happened, we had a so-called Ausbildungspakt, where the governmental bodies, so ministries, industry, and were sitting together and kind of combining all the needs and interests in order to secure more jobs, also for the ones who are not so highly educated at the moment. And what I really agree, Professor Jang, is that we have to integrate more the soft skills side, like flexibility, agile people. That is what is really questioned in the future, and also what you were presenting, that that emotional and intelligent is going to be play a big role. And there are so many studies out where companies focus on, yes, we have to have the professional skills, but on the other hand, people really have to have the soft skills. And I think this is something which is the side of modernization of educational system. And you can't start early enough on that. You know, you can really start in elementary school already with these things. So it's not new for them. So if I see my trainees entering the workshop at the moment, we have, honestly spoken, we have a little bit of a lack there, you know. So there is really a gap between what's needed and what is coming out of the high schools. So and that's why we're discussing already with the high school teachers and say, okay, you have to give them more skills on that side, you know. They have to be used to presentations or to work in teams and these things, you know. It's not the individual anymore, and also, like it was presented before, that the problems are going to be too complex in future to solve them on their own. So you need the help, you know. You have to do crossover teams, and I think this is a very fundamental point of change in Korea in education, but not only in Korea. There are a lot of countries out who really have to do that task.
예.
저
소프트.
하나 덧붙여도 될까요?
예.
예, 좀 추가해서 말씀드리고 싶은 거는 독일도 그 이제 직업 훈련이 굉장히 중요시 되는 나라이고, 거기서도 뭐 직업 교육이 직업 훈련하고 거의 동일시되는 이런 추세이고요. 그래서 정부 부처가, 우리나라에서는 교육부는 직업 교육만 따로 하고, 뭐 직업 훈련 부분은, 성인을 위한 직업 훈련 부분은 고용노동부나 기타 부처가 이렇게 분리되어서 하는 그 부분에 있어서 우리가 평생 직업 교육을 한다는 차원에서 보았을 때 학교 다녀서 배운 이 학습 내용을 성인이 되어서도 이어가서 그 위에 더 쌓아가고 더 향상시키는 이러한 라이프롱 에듀케이션이 될 수 있기 위해서는 이런 것이 좀 더 협력이 필요한 부분이라는 차원의 이야기고요. 뭐 미국의 예만이 아니더라도 그 베트남의 예만을 보아도, 베트남 같은 국가도 교육훈련부죠. 교육부가 아니라. 그래서 그런 식으로 교육과 훈련은 항상 같이 가야 되고, 비단 뭐 일반 교육조차도 결국 직업교육하고 서로 상호작용을 할 수밖에 없기 때문에, 그리고 직업교육이 과연 우리나라에서 많은 학생들이 특성화 고등학교 들어와서도 대학을 가고자 하는 그런 현상을 보았을 때 그 대학 입시 제도, 이런 것들에 대해서, 이런 것들이 4차 산업혁명이라는 앞으로 다가올 이런 것을 준비해주는 제도인가, 그 대학 입학 제도에 따라서 중고등학교, 그 초등학교 교육조차도 내용이 많이 달라지고 학부모들이 신경 쓰는 사교육이 많이 달라지고 있는 상황 아닙니까? 그래서 이러한 교육 전체가 좀 더 이 사회 그리고 경제, 문화 같이 인터밍글해서 이렇게 만들어지는 제도로 발전해 나아가야 되는 것이 타당하지 않은가 생각됩니다.
예, 정 박사님 이제 주로 통합적인 측면을 말씀하셨는데, 제가 약간 끼어들면은 독일의 직업교육이 독일의 네이션 빌딩 과정에서 실제로 노동을 통한 시민교육이라는 나름대로 철학적 바탕이 있습니다. 예, 그래서 우리가 직업교육이라고 해서 시민교육을 못한다, 이런 것은 아니라는 거죠. 문제는 직업교육의 철학적 기본, 이런 것이 굉장히 가치 기본이 중요하다고 저는 생각이 듭니다. 이 문제에 넘어가고요. 이제 사실은 여기에 선호가 많이 나와 있지 않은 굉장히 중요한 문제 하나를 얘기하겠습니다. 한국 정부가 얼마 전에 사실은 직업계열 고등학교 학생들이 현장에서 사고를 당하면서 사실상의 필드 트레이닝, 현장 학습을 금지하는 정책을 했다. 지금 여기 다 금지한 건 아닌데 그렇다면 이게 과연 이 문제에 대해서 어떤 대안이 있냐라고 하는 우리에게 굉장히 실질적인 문제에 대한 질문을 하셨습니다. 이거에 대해서 사실은 여러 가지 굉장히 고민이 많은 한국 사회에서 아까 그 벨레 선생님이 말씀하신 secure environment, 안전한 공간이라고 하는 걸 만들어 줬을 때 이제 아이들이 이게 가능한데 안전한 공간이 아닌데 현장학습을 해야 되니까 하는 문제가 제기되고 있어요. 그렇다고 현장학습을 이렇게 포기하는 게 맞냐? 이 문제 또 하나의 과제이거든요. 혹시 이것에 대해서 생각 있으시면 대안을 좀 해결책을 좀 주시기 바랍니다.
So first of all, never give up on that. This is a thing because the dual vocational education is way too valuable to suspend it. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I think it has to do with training trainers, like we have it in our system, in the Ausbildung system, because our trainers also get very much focused on security issues, you know. And our trainers, after their 100 hours of qualification training, they have to do an assessment. They do a theoretical written test, that's the one part. The other part is they have to give kind of a lecture, 15 minutes. And one core part of this lecture is if they neglect the safety part, it's over. They failed, you know. So I think it's just a matter of how you set it up, you know. And it's not the matter about discussing doing it or not doing it. You have to do it. You have to give these young people the chance to get into a company and get to know what, you know, what is work like and all these things. So it's just a matter of how you set it up, and I think that you can do very, very easily. So I don't see an obstacle about that at all.
Yeah. 한국의 직업교육 마스터 플랜 안에서는 이 얘기를 어떻게 하시는지 들어보겠습니다.
마스터 플랜 안에 직접 나와 있는 내용은 아니지만 우리나라 고등학교 학생들의 현장 실습이 상당히 이제 사회 문제시 되어 있습니다. 그래서 이제 교육부에서는 취업 중심의 현장 학습보다는 학습 중심의 현장 학습으로 좀 이렇게 완화해서 잘못된 부분을 조정해 나가고자 하는 그런 의지를 밝혀 있습니다. 그럼에도 불구하고 그 이제 많은 분들은 아직도 그래도 취업을 목적으로 하는 특성화 고등학교 학생들이 취업 중심의 현장 학습으로 가야 되지 않느냐라는 이런 이야기들이 많이 있는 거죠. 사실은 그것도 맞는 이야기입니다. 그런데 이거를 교육부가 홀로 이거를 책임져야 될 부분이라기보다는 이런 산업 안전 부분 그리고 이들이 일하는 일터에서의 안전 부분은 이 고등학교 현장 학습만이 아니더라도 어떤 회사에서나 어떤 일자리에서도 우리나라 전체에서 많이 일어나고 있는 일입니다. 그래서 이러한 부분을 교육부가 이제 학생들을 좀 더 관리 감독하고 이런 중요한 부분도 더 추가해야 될 부분이긴 하지만 그보다도 병행해서 다른 부처에서 산업 안전이라든지 회사 내에서의 이 직업 직무 수행하는 데 있어서의 여러 가지 문제점 진단 이런 것을 병행해서 수행할 수 있도록 해야 될 것으로 생각합니다.
예, 지금 잠깐만요. 예, 제가 우리 박연희 교수님 질문을 두 가지 여기 있습니다. 예, 하나는 교사 양성 기간의 커리큘럼에 가장 시급히 추가되어야 될 과목이나 프로그램에는 어떤 것이 있는지요. 두 번째는 역량 기반의 교육으로 직업교육의 방향을 잡아야 한다고 하셨는데 현재 중등교육과정과 고등교육과정은 지식 기반으로 아직 경직되어 있는데 어떤 식으로 변화되어 가고 있는지 교육의 틀이 변화하는데 어느 정도의 시간이 걸릴지 뭐 이런 걸 물으셨습니다. 이 부분 박 교수님께서 좀 답변해 주시기 바랍니다.
Okay, in terms of the institutions for developing or raising or training instructors, I believe the needed course or needed subject would be how to be a coach, how to be a motivator to students. Because as I mentioned from my discussion, instructors or teachers' role should be changed. But in the real school setting, teachers or instructors don't know how to play a role as a coach or facilitator. They try to, but they don't know how to do that exactly, how to do in the real way. So I think that kind of programs should be reflected in the programs for developing emerging or future instructors. And in terms of competency-based curriculum, I doubt the terminology of curriculum is proper in the fourth industrial revolution, because the term of curriculum is pretty much provider-oriented. Anyhow, in terms of curriculum-based curriculum, I think the most important thing is to integrate subjects, to implement problem-based learning and project-based learning. And it is very difficult, I know, but eliminating the walls among the subjects is most critical issue to realize the competency-based learning through integrations of subjects.
Let me add something to that. If we come to teacher qualification in that respect, I mean, if you really want to kick off that process, you can really do that very fast, as I saw it with our professors in our colleges, because they had to change totally from the role of being like a conservative professor, you know, standing in front of the classes and teach them, into transforming into a person who you just described it as mentoring and facilitator. And I think what you can do, first of all, you have to convince these professors, teachers of the necessity, so they really see why they have to change in a certain way. That's the first thing. And the second thing is you can retrain them in a way, you know, get them together, start their education right away. So the process is going to be a long-term one, you know. This is also something which doesn't happen overnight. But if you kick off the process right now in retraining them, you know, getting them together in conferences, make them aware that they have to change in a way, and getting away from their 20-year-old way of teaching, you know. I think this could be one thing. Again, the government could set the framework, you know, where the government could really kick it off and say, okay, let's do this. And yeah, then you can accelerate a little bit.
예, 정부가 킥오프를 시작할 수 있는 프레임워크를 제공하는 것, 이 부분에 대해서 강조를 해주셨습니다. 그 다음 질문의 다수가 어떤 거냐면은 이렇게 기술혁명이 일어나거나 이럴 때 이게 결국은 양극화가 되고 있는 거 아니야. 이제 다른 세션에서 이 문제를 다루긴 합니다. 근데 이제 우리 교육 전문가들께서 어떻게 생각하시는지 궁금한데요. 소위 말해서 4차 산업혁명 얘기할 때 많은 나라가 양극화 얘기하고 실제적으로 불평등이 세계적으로 심화되고 있어요. 과거에는 이게 숙련 편향적 기술 변화다라고 했는데 지금은 오히려 거기 나아가서 자본 편향적, 그것도 그냥 자본이 아니라 대자본 편향적 기술 변화다, 이런 얘기를 하면서 불평등이 심화되고 있다 얘기를 하는데, 혹시 이 부분에 대해서 의견을 좀 주시기 바랍니다. 정 박사님. 네.
산업혁명이, 4차 산업혁명이 진행되면서 우려하고 있는 또 하나의 이슈가 바로 양극화 현상입니다. 그래서 그 데이비드 오터 같은 사람은 이러한 그 4차 산업혁명이 진행되면서 AI라든지 로봇 기술을 가진 사람들의 자본과 기술이 그렇지 않은 사람들의 자본과 기술보다 훨씬 그쪽에 집중이 됨으로써 부의 분배가 너무 양극화되기 때문에 정부의 정책적 개입이 필요하다라고 이제 언급을 했고요. 그래서 우리나라에서도 보면은 지금 교육비 격차도 계속 늘어나고 있고요. 그래서 우리가 정책적으로 이 취약계층을 위한 그러한 정책들, 안전망을 마련하기 위한 직업교육의 정책들이 많이 필요한데, 뭐 예를 들면은 그 계좌제라든지 바우처를 제공한다든지 해서, 근데 그러한 교육 훈련비 제공을 단순히 돈으로만 할 것이 아니라 그들이 정말 필요성도 느낄 수 있게 하고 또 생계비를 같이 지원해서 일정한 생활 수준이 되어서 또 훈련을 계속 같이 받을 수 있도록 하는 이러한 좀 노력이 필요하고요. 그렇게 되기 위해서 컨설팅은 정말 필요한 단계라고, 그 직전에서 필요한 부분이라고 생각합니다. 그래서 개개인의 그 역량에 맞는 직업교육을 받을 수 있고 그들의 문제가 무엇이고 애로사항이 무엇인지를 컨설팅을 통해서 풀어갈 수 있는 이 장치가 좀 마련될 필요가 있다고 봅니다.
예, 저희가 시간이 거의 다 된 것 같습니다. 예, 그 독일의 세계 직업교육을 비교 연구하고 숙련 체제를 비교 연구한 부스마이어 교수가 한 얘기가, 유명한 얘기가 있습니다. 예, 후기 중등 직업교육이 충실한 나라일수록 사회적 불평등이 적다는 겁니다. 그리고 학력이 높다고 해서, 전반적인 학력이 높다고 해서, 다시 말해서 대학을 많이 간다고 해서 사회적 불평등이 해결되는 문제는 아니다. 이 선행관계가 아니다라는 유명한 얘기를 했습니다. 사실은 우리에게 있어서 대학의 대안이 될 수 있는 직업교육 체제, 특히 후기 중등 직업교육 체제가 굉장히 중요하다고 생각이 듭니다. 거기서부터 모든 직업교육은 출발을 할 테니까요. 저는 오늘 여러분들하고 같이 이 논의를 하면서 희망을 보았습니다. 희망은 대체로 저는 애정에서 나온다고 생각이 듭니다. 우리 한국 학생들의 아까 재능과 잠재력은 어느 것보다 뛰어나고 한국의 교사들의 능력은 굉장히 뛰어나다고 생각합니다. 그러나 이 에너지를 우리가 어떻게 사용할 건가는 사실 사회적 관심으로부터 출발합니다. 여기에 직업교육에 관계되시는 분들, 정부 관계자들 또는 직업훈련에 관계되시는 분, 많은 분들이 와 계실 거라고 생각합니다. 기업이 자기의 워크포스, 노동력에 대해서 보다 많은 애정을 갖고 사회가 직업교육에 보다 많은 애정을 가질 때 우리에게는 희망을 일구어낼 사회적 관계, 사회적 파트너십을 만들 수 있다고 생각이 듭니다. 저는 오늘 우리는 다 함께 작은 희망의 출발을 본 것 같습니다. 여러분, 이 세션을 이것으로 마치겠습니다. 대단히 감사합니다.